I'm gonna do my absolute best to remain professional here, but know this, today is a painful day.
Jesus fucking Christ.
In the Lost Lands is directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, and you know Milla Jokovich is in it, and Dave Bautista. Who gives a fuck who else is in it, honestly? The story here takes place in some post-apocalyptic world. This world was inspired by George R.R. Martin. This world takes place in the future after some nondescript war blows everything up, and then I guess there's a bunch of witches, magic, dragons, demons, you know, that kind of thing. Milla Jokovich plays a witch who has to team up with this mysterious bounty hunter after she gets hired to go do some job, and the job takes them into the Lost Lands, which is forbidden because nobody has ever come back from the Lost Lands, and thus we have some semblance of a movie. Positives. Damn. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna be a complete asshole. There were some things to like. I do like the concept of this world, like the way that it was teased and set up. There is something fascinating about the world that they've at least teased here, and I'm a big fantasy nerd, so I like the idea of witches and magic and dragons, demons and werewolves and all that good shit. I like Dave Bautista, and there are moments where he is trying in this movie. Is he given a good story? No. Is he given good dialogue? Not really. Is he given good character development? And if I actually am putting on my critic hat, I will say the action scenes are filmed a little bit better here than they have been in W.S. Anderson's previous films. Normally it's a lot of quick cut and shaky cam and a lot of incomprehensible cut to shit action that irritates the fuck out of me. And here, the cuts feel a little bit more intentional, and as a result the action feels a little bit easier to follow. It's easier to see everything that's going on. So holy shit, we're done talking about the positives now. Okay, so I can cook the rest of this body. I mentioned that an interesting world is teased in this movie, and that's really all it is. A movie like this, you gotta try to flesh that shit out a little bit. I'm not saying that I need the backstory on every fucking tree branch or snail, but it would be nice to feel like the world is a little bit lived in, to the point that I know a little bit more about what the fuck is going on. There's so much shit that I don't know what the fuck is, or what the fuck is happening, or what the fuck's going on, because the movie does not give a flying, fornicating fuck. There's so much shit in this movie that goes unexplained or unexplored that I lost my mind about halfway through, and I just gave up. You ever been in a movie and you're giving it a chance, and then 10 minutes in, you're just kind of like, okay, this is it gets better, doesn't it? When it comes to the acting in this movie, it's acting. I can't even say acting with a straight face. The acting in this movie ranged from bored actors who don't give a shit about this movie to actors that are trying way too hard to convince you that they're into this movie. There's no in between. There's no gray area. It's either over the top or it's understated to the point that you feel like they took drugs before they filmed their scene. There is no bigger example of this in this movie than Milla Jokovich. Milla Jokovich, listen, I used to believe in her talent, and I think it's kind of cool that her husband just constantly casts her in movies and gives her opportunities. Like, that's kind of cute. That's kind of sweet. It's what I would do if I were in his position. But mother of God, can she just act like she wants to be here? Like, I feel like I'm not asking for that much. You tell me, am I asking for that much? And her character is so insanely boring. Her performance is insanely boring. Character is just a witch who just knows shit and just does shit, and there's no real reason given for why you should give a shit about it. The entire movie, you're just like, why the fuck are you in this movie? Anybody could have played you. I feel like this is kind of disrespectful, but this is how I feel. You could honestly get a great artist and have them draw a painting of, I don't know, olive oil from Popeye. Have them cut olive oil out of that painting and put her in this movie as the star, and I honestly don't feel like the movie would change that much. It says something about the lead performance and the lead character in your movie when I am sitting here trying to imagine, you know what? If olive oil from Popeye were here, how much better would the movie be? There's a central story here that you don't care about, that you're not given enough context for, which ties back into the bad world building. You know what? I could probably forgive a lot of this if the movie didn't look like absolute shit. The movie looks like dog shit, man. I get that it's gonna have like a post-apocalyptic palette, whatever the fuck that is, but the lens flares and the terrible CGI and the god-awful 1990s, early 2000s green screen that was used to produce this movie, I was sitting there in disbelief halfway through the movie. Like halfway through the second act, I was just like,
if you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Was nobody around on set? Did nobody screen and watch this movie before you released it? There needs to be at least one person on set who watches the movie after it's made and slaps the fuck out of anybody involved if they thought it was good enough. There's no way they looked at this green screen and thought, yeah, that looks good. There's no way they looked at the CGI in this movie and thought, hey, yeah, that looks convincing. There's no way they saw all these lens flares that makes every single scene look bright and ugly for no reason and thought, sure, audiences will love that. There is no possible way that they thought that this glossy, fake-looking filter that they used for every single scene was going to be appealing. But you know what? There is a way, because it actually happened, and I saw the movie, and it's proof that it actually exists. I was trying to see if I could put this movie in a way where it's like, it's not the worst thing that I've seen. Thought about the movie, and I just got more infuriated. So no, the movie absolutely is gonna get the worst rating. At this point, you guys should know what kind of rating this movie is gonna get. It's gonna get the worst one this channel has to offer. A Quest for Peace. Dog shit, camel shit, horse shit. I don't care. Any animal you pick, sloth shit. It's shit. I am gonna ask, is there a post-apocalyptic story that you want adapted for the big screens? Go ahead and put that in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel. Stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.